Welcome to the Ask Chris Real Estate Podcast with Chris Phillips from Keller Williams. A successful 20-year veteran in the Middle Tennessee real estate market with over 100 five-star reviews, Chris is known for his knowledge and integrity. Whether you're buying, selling, investing, or just curious, his insight will guide you along the way.
Welcome to Ask Chris. I'm Chris Phillips with the Phillips Group, and on this channel we talk about buying and selling and investing in everything that's happening in the Nashville real estate market. So let's get started. Today, David Manier with Primis Mortgage is going to help me break down what the market's doing in Rutherford County. So we're going to run through these numbers real quick.
Yeah.
David kind of had a chance to look at these. And David, what do you think when your first glance?
First glance is I'm seeing a lot of red downward arrows, Chris.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Now remember, those red downward arrows are from 2025 to 2026. So it's March of 2025. Yep. And then comparing it to March of 2026. So we have these, and it always starts off a little slow, but you're right. New listings are down 23%. That means that we're not having a lot of houses come on the market, and that's just basically because everybody's got 3% and 4% interest rates, and they're just not selling those homes.
Yeah, I'll say that's honestly starting to change. So I was looking at a statistic, and it was showing that more people now actually have interest rates that are 6% or higher than they have that are 3% or less. So there's starting to be a really big population of people with higher interest rates because obviously it's great to have those really low interest rates, but if life happens, right, you have more kids, right? You need more room. It's like if you have 2 extra kids, it's hard living in a 2-bedroom house, right? You might need to, upsize a little bit. People downsize as well. That's a common thing, right? Death, divorce, all common life scenarios that unfortunately do happen.
That's right.
So
I'll be looking to downsize in the next 5 years. So
yeah,
I'm going to hate to lose my 3% interest rate, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, let's talk about the sales price. Sales price in 2025 of March was $488. This March it was $471. It's down 4%.
Okay.
That's not the end of the world, and we can recover from that. There was a lot of listings that were on the market from December and January. So I think the reason that that's showing down is because those still haven't closed or are taking a little longer to close. I don't know if you're seeing it with your other realtors, but I'm having 45-day and 60-day closings now, which means the person's waiting, they're under contract, and it can be in extenuating circumstances like, hey, I don't want to get out of my house until the end of April.
Yeah.
I've got several doing that.
I have heard that. So a couple of people that I know like doing, temporary occupancy type thing, like scenarios. So, those are pretty common. I don't know, at least for me on the mortgage side of things, I feel like whenever I'm talking with real estate agents like yourself, usually it's how fast can we close? Right. And so it's like, can we close in 3 weeks? I'm like, if we need to, we can. So we can do those really fast closings. Typically we say around 30 days to close, especially on, kind of more complex loans, down payment assistance stuff. Usually we say around 30 days to close those. So that's usually about what I'm seeing. I think it's, honestly a little shocking to see the house prices going down instead of going up, because we've been so used to house prices always going up like year after year.
Well, one of the things I forgot to tell you, David, before the camera started rolling was that I had taken out new construction.
Oh gosh, yeah.
So if you compare the new construction report, it's 1%.
Oh, up or down?
Down.
Okay, so still down, but just not as,
it's 1%. When you take the new construction out, it goes to 4%. So it's a little bit of a drop. So we're still heavy reliant on new construction in this area, which is basically kind of propping up our real estate market.
Sure.
I mean, it's a blessing, and it's also something that one day we're going to have to pay the piper.
Yeah.
Depending on how long those people own those homes.
Yeah, we talk about it all the time. Like, there's so many people coming from out of state, right, moving into Tennessee. I'm like, we already have all that. Like, if we weren't building any new houses, then where are those people going to go, right?
Exactly. Yeah, so, and last year at this time we had 3 months of inventory. Now we're right over 3.5 months of inventory. So we're creeping up. Obviously, we're moving into the buyer's market.
Yeah.
We are seeing that because sellers are giving concessions, and on average it's what, 2 to 3%, you think?
Yeah, so
sales price.
Yeah, usually around there. Probably 2% sounds pretty fair.
Yeah. And honestly, I don't think this is a bad report. I think we're still doing this where we're just kind of treading, we're going up and down and kind of staying the same line of the trend line. We're not really going up a lot, we're not really going down a lot. We're just kind of, each month it's just kind of going, that up and ebb and down flow.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, so, asking about stuff that I'm seeing on my end on the mortgage side, applications, at least for me and other people I've talked to, they've been pretty up, I'd say.
Good.
At least from the winter months, coming into March, April now that we're in now, applications they've been picking up. So I'm starting to see more and more buyers, people like getting out there in the market ready to start buying, and I think that's a great sign right now.
Yes.
Right. It's like, because even if this is kind of where the houses are, right, it's showing it's still a really affordable time. Right, house prices aren't super high, exorbitant prices like what we have seen. Right, they've kind of started to come down just a little bit, leveling off a little bit. So now buyers can get really good deals, right? But you're still selling your house at a really good price too. So it's a win-win scenario for everybody involved.
Well, and those people that are sitting on the fence waiting for 2008 and 9 to happen again, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And the reason it's not going to happen is because the inventory is still low.
Yeah.
When we were in 08 and 09, we had inventory of 6 months plus. So that's the only way we're going to have major corrections, and that's just not going to happen. Our demand is too much here.
Another thing too, right, because we've seen, I'll talk interest rates a little bit, right? So we've had rates, be north of 6 for a little while now, right? And so, if we start to see rates really start to go down like into the medium 5s, I think we're going to start seeing a lot more buyers come out.
Yes.
And as right, as more buyers enter the market, house prices could go back up a little bit more. So honestly, there's no point in trying to time the market, because even if rates go down to make your payment a little bit lower, you're probably going to be paying a little bit more for that house, because you're going to be in bidding wars, right? We don't see that as much right now, right? But
well, just like the series we just did before with the 300,000 in the outskirt areas, every one of those sold for list price.
Yeah, wow.
I don't know if you saw that.
Okay, wow. I didn't.
Every one of
Okay.
them sold for list price.
Wow. Okay.
And they rolled the closing up into it, which is something we haven't seen since 2020-21.
Yeah, well, so I say that is a really good point. It is a really good thing to know that you can do, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of times people that are trying to buy homes right now, and I'm sure a lot of you guys probably feel this too if you're trying to buy a home, is it's hard to save up money for a down payment to buy a home, right? So you have your down payment and then the rest of the closing costs involved with that. It's very common to get the seller to pay some of your closing costs for you and then pay that full price offer.
Right, and we'll go back to that Columbia house that we were talking about that sold. It listed for $300, sold for $305. They paid $5,000 of the buyer's closing costs. That's why it was rolled up into it.
Yeah.
That is important. There's two ways we can attack this, and David will tell you this. He'll be like, Chris, I need to get $5,000 closing costs for these buyers. They need the assistance. So when I write the offer, I'm putting $300 with the seller paying closing, which means we're really buying the house for $295. And we've got a list price of $300. They counter back at $305, and we accept. And then obviously it's contingent on it appraising.
Yep.
And that's something that we're able to do. And a lot of times I'll tell my buyers it's okay that we're paying higher than the list price, because this is a desirable house. You're competing with other people, and we want to get this thing off the market because its condition is immaculate. And this is a good buy.
Yep.
It's a good move.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Okay, guys, that's the Rutherford County Real Estate Minute on the market here in March. And just stay tuned. And David, thanks for doing that with me. I appreciate it.
Glad to be here.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching Ask Chris. If this was helpful, be sure to like and subscribe and share. And I'll see you next time with Ask Chris.
For answers to all your real estate questions, ask Chris at the Phillips Group, Murfreesboro, Tennessee.